Hello everyone, welcome to EXO versus IS. Today, it should be a very entertaining match. It should be very close, and it may be the closest Week 1 matchup we may have for you today. For the lineups, do you want to go over them, Maq?
Yeah, so we got two pretty close lineups today. We got EXO, we got Insane. EXO's repping Articuno, Connor, Ethan, Zane, and Spart bagging. On Insane side, we got Charge, Jorge, who we'll be watching today, Thunder, Ornan, and Pascal bagging. So we got a good one. Definitely one of the close ones that we're going to be seeing in this first week. A lot of lopsided ones, but this one I think is going to be pretty good.
What two key players are you looking at? One on each team.
All right. I think two guys we're going to be looking for today. We're going to be looking at Jorge, obviously, and we're going to be looking at Zane. These guys have been around a long time. Top runners in each of their teams. Both used to have world records. They're going to be, I think, battling out for first place each race. They're going to be up there in the front. I'd probably give the edge a bit to Jorge right now because he has that kind of higher division experience, playing a lot more online than Zane has been playing. And I think he has a stronger players surrounding him. So probably a bit of an advantage for him, but definitely on the lookout for both of them.
Yeah, for my choices, definitely good choices, the obvious ones of the two. For EXO, I'd have to go with Articuno. I've seen him make some strides over the year. Has improved in pack play, trolling, so I think he could be a really good complement to Zane and could really help Zane get into the first place position. For IS, someone named Thunder. I've played against him a few times. He's put up some good points, so he could be a really good 1-2 punch for IS today.
Absolutely. Both teams play a lot together, and so I think we're going to be seeing some pretty good communication on both sides. I think it's going to come down to who's ever able to play around their main player better. They're going to have the whole top spots. EXO is probably the underdog here, by not too much, but just by a little bit. So to get the best of IS, they're going to need to play around Zane. They're going to have to communicate well. They're going to have to win the shot count too. That's going to be huge. And the bagging, I think Spart does have a little bit of an edge here. I've bagged against both these guys before. Spart's probably got a bit of an edge, but it's going to be close. Definitely no, super heavyweight bagging.
And for sure, I've seen Spart bag a lot more than Pascal, maybe. I haven't really seen Pascal bag as much. For Connor and Ethan, I think they're definitely going to have to be on their A game if EXO is going to have a chance to win. And yeah, should be.
You better not be sleeping on Ethan. Ethan, one of the legitimately underrated players in the community. Like one of the guys there's a lot of guys people say are underrated, that, this guy. I don't buy a lot of it. Ethan, really underrated. I think we're going to see something from him today. I think he's going to be good. People are going to
as long as he just doesn't fail as much, stays on the track, there's a good chance.
Can't try to do too much in these league matches. You want to, you get excited because it hasn't been a league in a while for some of these teams, but you want to just, you got to stay composed. You got to just play your game. That's what these guys are going to do today.
And I see Ornan as well for IS, someone who's one of the higher ranks in Lounge, I believe. Even though Lounge is obviously different from Wars, it still does say something about your skill level. So,
Thunder as well. Probably going to see him go Daisy GP1. And I don't think many guys on EXO are going to be Daisy. So we're probably going to be seeing some BCW, some BC3, some DKM. They're going to maybe play around him for a little bit, but Jorge is going to be their main runner, and it's going to be good. I think we
discussed everything here. We could just chill.
Any predictions for the match, Yoshter? Results, final results?
I give IS the win by 18.
You're going to go IS plus 18?
Plus 18.
All right, I'll go opposite side. I'm going to go EXO, and I'm going to go plus 10. EXO plus 10, that's me. And we're going to see big points from Zane. We're going to see big points from Ethan. And we're going to see about 8 shocks from Spart.
Okay, 8 shocks. Yeah, definitely if Spart wins the bagging battle and gets the majority of shocks, definitely could be in EXO's favor.
I mean, if EXO shows up and they play their game, they're definitely going to do some damage. This IS team is probably better on paper, but once you get into the race,
and not only this is a very important match because I see some close teams in this group with HR, Steve, Gamp, IS, EXO, right? So it's kind of like the gauntlet here. So top 3 only makes it in. So this is a very important match for these two.
There's definitely some pools.
This could be the decider for top 3.
There's definitely some pools that have a almost decided top 3 just because of how they were drawn, but this is definitely not one of those groups. Group E has 4 teams that are a bit higher than the other 2, and you know, it's up for grabs really. EXO is kind of on that edge there, right there with Gamt and IS, so they're going to be battling for those top 3 spots, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting these next few weeks.
Who do you got for MVP?
Are we going MVP or are we going most points?
We're going most points,
You know
because
what I'm saying?
it's simple. I understand what you're saying. You could do both. You could do both.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, MVP, most points, different things. Totally different things.
Okay.
Right?
All right, so what would be your most valuable player? Just
Most valuable player is going to be Spark.
Spark?
Spark, great communication bagging. Great bagger in general. He's definitely going to be, you know, he's going to have to put in work to get this win, but if he does, he's going to be really exciting to watch. Most points, I mean, if I got to go somewhere in EXO, it's got to be Zane, right? Got to go with Zane. Zane, 104. 104 from Zane.
Low MVP, or low points for the MVP.
104 with Zane. Yeah, well, it's going to be a close war. You're going to have close points.
I think my pick for most points, since I guess I took IS, I'm going to go Thunder, if he can get up to the front. I want to say he has more experience in wars than Jorge. Don't quote me on that. But I've seen Jorge Mulder a lot more than actually war, you know? So I think I'd go with Thunder with the most points. And then the most valuable player.
That is a good prediction.
Most valuable player for the team. I could see Ornan doing pretty good as well and breaking 100 years.
Ornan I haven't played too many wars with, but Mogi is always performing, so. Yeah, we got it. All right, and we already started, so we got GV.
Okay, so GV.
So this is probably an IS pick, because GV
definitely
is not your top 3 spots.
For sure. So, looks like Jorge has a shroom. Probably will elect to go for the rock hop shortcut. IS being 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, Crony did not wear their name that they were supposed to wear. So
Shouldn't be a problem for week 1. It's not a problem for week 1.
It's not a penalty, but it's just,
yeah.
But IS is top 2.
IS top 2, great, which is actually pretty huge on GV. Obviously, the shocks can come, lap 2 kind of ruin that, but a really effective shock usually comes lap 3 here, and by then top 2 would already be almost set. So there's already a huge advantage for them.
If EXO is definitely confident and they do have the shock, they would try to go for rock hop and then save their shrooms for lap 3 to dodge. But obviously we see a lot of clans do lap 2 shock, so we'll see what they do. If they have it, the IS baggers obviously move forward, and there's a lap 2 shock.
Lap 2 shock.
Like that was an IS shock. That was an IS shock as dodges, so a top 3 here for IS.
Kind of a questionable play doing a lap 2 shock when you already are in top 2. Usually when you want to protect those spots. And now it kind of opens up the EXO to a second shock to kind of break that top 3. Right. So we'll see how this works out for them, but right now they do have
opens up the door because now a second shock's going to be available and we'll have plenty of time for EXO to get it. But you look at the pack difference, it's pretty separated, so they're going to have to start catching up with triple shrooms and golden going into the cut here. And
yeah, it's now or never for EXO this race.
Yeah, it's a top 3 with no shock right now.
Jorge thinking he's going to get a shroom. That box is lagging pretty bad.
Shroom there for third place. So take the cut. Okay, we see the whole room take the cut. Will we see a shock block cheese?
Doesn't look like any shock block cheese.
So it's going to be an IS top 3 to start off. Oh no! Commentating glued on the line. And these are losing a few spots, but it looks like IS still got top 3 out of that.
Yeah, that blue cheese.
So wow.
Nope.
That would have been a
top 3 for IS. Still worked out.
It's still a top 3 for IS. So the lap 2 shot working out. Obviously, it helps IS too, because not only did they dodge Thunder, but they also TS'd a lot of EXO members, probably taking the shortcut. So a good call on their part. It works out because EXO did not get that lap 2 shot. Oh, it was a top 2. Okay, so it was just maybe a little bit of lag. So top 2, 5, 6 for IS, still a really good race. A big blue though by EXO.
Yeah, EXO was able to salvage it at least a little bit there, and now they're in drafting spots, so a lot more options for them this next race. So
it looks like a top 2, 5, 6. Sometimes at this point you just kind of pick a little bit of neutral tracks in a way. BCW still optimal. Yeah. Koopa Cape even. Just like something that's kind of mixed, I guess. Something that's good for first. You have DDR. You could break away in first while your other teammates bag a little bit. So let's see what these teams end up picking here.
EXO, if I was them, I would go something like RBC. Because you got 3-4, you got the drafting spots. You got Zane in your lineup, who's obviously incredible at that track. So it could be a good pick for them here. IS going with BC Wee for Thunder, who's in first, obviously. On Daisy, like we said.
And it's going to be an RSL pick for EXO. Pretty
Even
underrated
track
track
fits.
actually. But
It is not an underrated track. It's actually pretty rated. It's pretty bad.
Oh.
It's not good. It's not a good track.
coming up in the world in 2020. Okay.
No. It's a bad track. And
Let's see how
Jorge
this works out for EXO.
with
since
the
this is
unorthodox start boost.
That's true. Old school. Doesn't get an 8th place box. Probably should have just waited till he got a free one. So let's see who gets the goldens and shrooms to shroom up into first place. We see 5-6 for IS, EXO in 2-3-4 at the moment.
2-3-4 putting a lot of pressure on Ornan up here.
Yeah, and Zane does get hit out of a top spot though.
Ooh,
But
like
we
a
see EXO
1-3
pass
now.
first though. Yeah, so EXO is 1-3 at the moment. with
Start
IS.
winning bagging battle by only a little bit.
Triple shrooms is a good pull here as well. For Jorge, he could do some shortcuts. He could definitely catch up with shrooms.
That's
Ornan
the
getting
pull.
hit out of
It's like
second-
Ornan
second
got
there.
owned there. Wow.
You see Artie going for a schlag attempt at the shroom. Does not connect. So Jorge should probably get up the first here. And stream buffer. And we see and he
Ooh.
gets the replay somewhat. Not really, but he gets hit and he had the waste shrooms. So good job by EXO wasting Jorge's shrooms here as they're still top 2. IS being 3-4.
Big fib, missed wide.
And Artie's gonna
So that's what you
schlag.
gotta do. That's a great idea. That's what you have to do when you want to protect your top spots on the track.
It's a pretty good idea, but now Artie's putting more pressure on himself to keep that second place.
right.
So a mega in 7th. It's a really good pull for Jorge. So do you have any idea what the bagging situation is?
Looks like no one has it yet. They're still both going backwards. Like a little
Looks
bit of a waiting game.
Maybe someone does have it. Someone's got it because they're playing chase down right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on.
I think it might be IS with shock. It looks like the Daisy's running away. I think that's Pascal.
Okay. And Jorge isn't using it, so he could use it here. They might just hold it till the end. Though we have a bill in play.
It would
And
Bill.
that's
So it's not
EXO, so he's gonna wait. Oh, but a big bill. He just billed Thunder right there, and he dropped his mega. And now
Yep.
there's the shock for IS. They're gonna get EXO in the boxes though. They might not get a good chain out of this. He doesn't even get the chain. So he just
no red. Ooh.
Yeah, and it looks
He's
like
so good
IS
in
is
the
going to be
boxes,
top
it's
2 at the
really-
moment. And he breaks it, but he hits the wall. And
Oh
that's all she wrote
Yep.
for Jorge. And it looks like EXO may have a decent race, but I think it's more of a neutral race
Nah.
actually. Yeah,
I
I
think
think
still
IS
favored
still won the
IS.
race. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. Definitely was
Yeah,
a better way to avoid that. That was
Yeah.
not optimal.
I don't think that was a good shock though, because you got EXO in the boxes,
Yeah.
so they got reds. It was a little bit rushed for sure.
You got to assume that someone was forced into their star because there's no way. There's like no way that you would use a shock that early. Not a team like IS. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that maybe Thunder, who got billed, spammed the star or something. I don't know, but they still
Possible.
get
Still
top,
a top
2 out
two
of
for
it.
IS.
Yeah,
So,
they get top 2, so it's still a good race.
only
I
6-8.
think it could have been.
Not unbelievable.
I think it could have
Still
been
very
better.
much in reach. Thunder got built on like that part where the Bills swerving and zigging zagging.
Yeah, it is a tough build to avoid
Yeah,
actually.
that's hard to avoid.
Just because of the zigzag cheese. So it looks like a 22-point lead for IS. Very commanding start.
Got
it
pretty much
definitely could be
sandwich
better,
spots
though.
here. We got sandwich spots. We got teams on the top and bottom, and then basically
Yeah.
all of the XO in the middle.
Mm.
Sandwich spots for the top 2, bottom 2 usually good for DDR, but they're going to keep going BCW. It looks like, which isn't a bad idea.
I
Top 2
think
is still
they're going
strong.
BCE simply because they are top 2, and then Thunder might be able to pull a good item in 8th and then do glitch. So I think that's what their game plan here is. EXO just keeping it neutral with the
Keep it
Delfino
neutral.
pick.
Delfina square. Doesn't matter what spot you got there. Really.
Okay, we have the
Oh,
India.
This is really not that good for EXO. This is a pretty big misplay here from Connor. Not good for their
Why
spots.
do
You
you
got
think-
6-8. You got 6-8 for IS. They got top 2. You're gonna have to drop. The other team's gonna be dropping anyways. So
I
now
think
you
the
kind of
biggest,
it's a tough position to be in when you're middle spots here.
yeah, I think the biggest box for the start is the 6th place box. That has the
6th
best
place
chance
box
of
always. 5th and 6th. That's where you got to
And
clutch.
Jorge gets it, and yep, there it is.
He gets the cheese. He gets the cheese.
He gets the cheese. Zane also gets a cheese shroom as
Zane
well.
gets the
But
cheese.
I'm assuming it was only a single shroom. Now the IS member second, who I don't know who that is, may have pulled triple shrooms in 4th because I think he touched the 4th place box. But we'll see it later on, obviously, if he starts dragging stuff. And yep, there's the green. Zane gets one of them. But I don't know if that was an EXO member or not.
This is where Zane needs to be. You've got to be in the front. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a shroom reliant track, but he's got to stay front. He's got to just spam the lines.
I think EXO could really
Gotta be
use
that
a power
presence
right
that you
now.
said.
I think EXO could really use a power because I think this guy in second.
Oh yeah, definitely. A power would be huge here.
But they're not going to get it off. And
yeah,
yep, there they go. They're taking the cut.
cut.
That guy definitely has a shooter first. There's no doubt about it. And
Got that
this is a
triple
looking
cheese
really
in the
good for IS because look at how far the attack is.
Yeah. You see Thunder in the back there as the daisy, but it looks like IS is holding most of the top spots.
Right. So Zane is going to need some help. He's going to need a blue or something. At least slow them down.
Pretty sure that EXO has the shock though, so could kind of turn this around. But when the break is this far away on this track, it's tough, even with dodges.
Let's see if we can figure out who's. Oh, third is IS as well with Monyz. So I think Zane's fourth.
Looks like it might be a star drop here. No.
So maybe if you're thinking EXO, you try to TS them in the cut because they know they got shoes. Let's see what happens. Yep, there it is. Jorge gets
really bad
Other
TS
IS
too.
member
That was really well timed.
Yeah. The other IS member was smart to go around, but Jorge was not. And they're still top 3 though because
looks like Orange benefited from it, and
because
kind of got bad chains.
The pack was so separated that it didn't matter as much. So IS is just still top 2. We have EXO in the middle spots at 3-4. But once again, this has kind of been the story, and now it looks like 2 EXO members fell off the map.
Huge back there from Jorge. That's a tough spot. It's not only one set left. It's far away.
It looks like EXO is going to get top or 3-4, excuse me.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty similar race.
Once again, we see IS top 2, so they're struggling to break IS's top 2s just in general because that was all IS. EXO, maybe they didn't get enough boxes.
Yeah.
Maybe shout outs to Thunder for slagging. So
IS is doing a really good job of holding their top spots right now.
Yeah.
They're clearly the favorite in running. EXO's relying too much on their slagging items and Spark getting shocks that IS is just able to take his lead.
And sometimes this track is just decided on the first set if nothing happens. If you don't get a POW, if you don't get a blue.
Yeah.
We saw that IS member just get triple shrooms in fourth. He benefited huge off of it. We saw Jorge get triple shrooms, so
more so than any other track in the game. This first set here is just huge. This one in GV as well, which we saw. Jorge was able to get triple shrooms early on, take the cuts. Shock didn't matter for him, even though it was theirs.
Yeah, it was an EXO shock, and they just couldn't benefit because they were just way too far back. So they got to do a better job of at least narrowing the pack down.
Yeah, they got to try to hold some of those top spots early on. All right, race 4. Basically the same spots. They still want BCUE. Thunder is going to want to try to get off Daisy for next GP. I know that he likes to only not be on it the whole time. So BCUE pick here would be probably best case scenario for them. So they can have 4 funkies and just kind of spam those kind of tracks again.
IS up with an early lead here, 35 points. So EXO definitely needs a win. They don't need a huge win for this race, but they need to stop this momentum.
Yeah, they gotta get some momentum here.
Let's see what their game plan here is on BCW to try to get top 2 out of their top spots.
When you come into a match like this where you're the underdog, and even though you're not out of it, obviously they're never going to be out of it. But when you're coming in and you're the underdog,
lag start here for Jorge.
You got to ride the momentum. You got to try to get
lag start in general because he's on first place.
Oh yeah.
So.
We'll see how this looks on the Wingfight page.
Yeah, it's kind of sus, but it looks like EXO. I mean, they're going to benefit off the lag start. They also had already golden, so they're top 2 now.
You got Artie up there. Artie's going right route, and I don't think
and you see his backtrack. Wow. Oh my God, Artie ended this man's career. But not only that, he was trying to spam items to cycle and probably tried to block the glitch.
Yeah, I think he's trying to block glitch, but it doesn't look like he got it.
It looks like he didn't get it though. No, but it looks like Thunder failed it. Okay, so
yeah, that's huge for EXO. A lot of bottom spots here for IS.
So yeah, you have to win this race. You see Ethan still in first, and then I think Ornan's still second or third. So.
Thunder's almost basically just out of the race here. Obviously, you can make it laps 2 and 3 and salvage something, but right now, this is looking really good for EXO, especially if they can get shot.
And, someone hit a banana.
It just got started out of Spart, I think.
Yeah, we saw Bill usage because he knew he was going to fall off by hitting the banana, so that's really unfortunate for using your Bill in 5th there. But he's still going to gain some ground there for an IS.
Pascal's winning bagging by a little bit here. I think he started out of Spart just there earlier. So that's a pretty huge play, especially when he makes the top spots.
If Ethan is still first, EXO is 1-4 because one of them just fell off. See, you can't be making those mistakes. You can't be because you're losing.
When you're down early, those mistakes are brutal later on. especially for momentum and call.
So Thunder did not go for the glitch, I don't think. So he may have a dodge and just be like, look, I'm not going for it. So that's his decision.
He's got back into 6th.
Right. So Ethan doing a good job holding first, but he's going to have to try to back swing here, get these guys out of 2-3 to benefit Zane. Then there goes one. So
that's where Ethan's going to need to be.
And there goes Ethan. See, he makes 2 good plays. And now
a big TC
Jorge. Dude. And
the blue's coming. But
I don't
Jorge's
think
going to be getting blue. Or
yeah,
TC
I don't.
anyway, so.
Oh, that red might connect though. If that doesn't hit the fire.
Gets blued, not in a bad spot. He had a pretty big rate because of all that just happened there.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's pretty lucky for Ethan. And Ethan's got to hold this first year. This is huge for Ethan.
Oh, EXO's top 2. Let's see if Thunder gets the...
And another blue for IS.
Wait. Thunder did the glitch, I think, though, so he has to hold it. That kind of... I don't know if that actually helps or not.
No way Thunder's about to win this race right now.
And he's going to throw it here. 1-4-5 for IS at the moment. Oh, but but it looks like EXO's still bottom 2. Yeah, this is going to be another good race for IS. They get 1-4-5-6 out of this, I believe, unless something happened on the line.
And that, I mean, frankly put, it shows how broken that glitch is. It's a broken glitch.
Right, but...
Even on DC3, you can't do that.
Right, but no one made a valid effort to actually block the glitch, I think. Because Ethan was in first for 3 laps. And I guess there was nothing on it, so... You gotta at least try to contest the glitch a little bit if you're gonna make him work for it. So...
Yeah.
So another good race for IS. Yeah, very unfortunate blue, but I don't...
Ethan doesn't have a ton of experience playing against top teams, with top teams, but he does have very good driving. So when he's in first like that, when he doesn't have to worry about too much, he is going to be a strong player for them, but when stuff like that happens, it's obviously tough.
Yeah, unlucky, but at the same time, I would have liked to see a lap to block in some sense. Maybe he did try, and it's just hard to block glitch because
it's hard to block that glitch. But a lot of times you just put it down too early, or just, you don't get the item you need. It's tough. It's tough glitch to block. It really is.
Let's see how they rebound here. They get the room reset, so they are top 3. They're going to need something big. They got to keep those top spots because we also saw DC an EXO member falling off. So let's see what IS is thinking as well as EXO top 3. So they're going Yoshi Falls.
Yoshi Falls, that's risky.
It's a pretty good top 3 track in a sense. I think maybe 3rd or 2nd might want to get a box and flag. But regardless, we're going to MC3, one of the most basic tracks in the game. So, gotta have good communication to know where everyone is, because this is one of those tracks where you don't want the pack to be too separated, especially if you're shocked being the one separated. So, let's see how this plans out though. It looks like EXO all goes forward though.
Interesting strategy. That is not a good strategy. I'd say interesting, but it's not good. It's not good.
It's typically not a good strategy, but Artie did pull a lucky pull, so he was able to green 2 IS with the same green.
So now what we have here is we have 2 IS players who are not far away from the pack, both with 8th place boxes. And EXO is just going to have to try to hold their run. And see, that's what happens. You get TC'd, you get owned in the middle, and, it's not good. It's not a good look, especially if your team can't get shot. It doesn't matter.
We just saw the days used the bill, and that's big. So that's huge for EXO. But I think Ethan is an 8 though. Ethan is an 8, so he may have a dodge.
Nice turn there from Jorge.
Ethan definitely has a dodge because he's not streaming. Oh no,
let's see. No, he's streaming.
He doesn't have a dodge. So EXO
6-7. I mean, maybe a shock into boxes, something like that.
I mean, 5, 6, 7. Zane is stopping.
Predict. Spart's in a start. He might not. Nobody has shock, I don't think.
Oh yeah, that's bad for EXO. Oh, they just banned it.
Wow.
I think Zane might get first out of this. And let's see what happens. Oh, there's the blue. So he's not getting first out of this. Never mind. And then Jorge gets
the bagger's Daisy. Jorge chucked it, so.
Yeah, but Zane built up the first, so he got the.
This is definitely going to be, not definitely, but it's looking like a bottom 2 for IS.
And looks like, yeah, EXO won this race. I could tell Thunder was in around 5th to 6th, so this is going to be a first win for EXO.
Starts there creeping up. You're going to start creeping up.
Very unlucky for Zane, though. And yes, EXO with an excellent race. They also get first. So they get 1, 3, 4, 6. That's the momentum shifter they needed.
That's exactly what they needed. And now they're great spots. Having
Great
first and
spots,
having
yeah.
fourth and something in between is great for the next race. Especially first and fourth.
Yeah. I think this might be a TF pick here. I see a lot of TF with around these spots, or at least top 2, 4. 1, 3, 4 can still work in a way. Obviously, first still takes the box.
They might still go Yoshi Falls. They might still have confidence in that.
Yeah, but second is a great spot for Yoshi Falls. You can outline first. So, just simply because you have the better line than first.
Bit of indecision here from IS. Might have flustered them there. A little bit of a fluster there. Right. It's like EXO goes with TF. That's the pick. Pretty good pick.
The track pick. Sure. So we're expecting first to take the first box, and then fourth the draft box. So let's see who bags for Bill. Jorge is an 8, so he's probably going to bag for it.
Getting his weird starter boost again. I kind of like it though. I've never seen that. I've literally never seen that.
We might need to see an instant replay.
Yeah, I would love it. I think
it looks like Zane and Jorge are both just sitting here, and
these are the two guys we said would be up front the whole time. We see them both bagging really hard.
I kind of like this play by Zane. He's putting trust in his teammates and saying, "Hey, yeah, it is, but we're trusting you to keep your top spots." Unfortunately, we see Ethan right there because now Jorge's build is somewhat useless because he's so separated. You know what I mean?
Look at Ethan making this play. Look at Ethan.
This isn't good for EXO now because now they're.
Oh man!
You gotta use the bill. Just use the bill, man.
You gotta use the bill.
Just use the bill, bro.
I mean, what is this?
We have EXO 6-8, so now we do just and an early shock. I don't know if that was.
It's gotta be an EXO shock. There's no way.
Yeah, but no one dodged. I look at the minimap. And no one dodged the shock.
No one dodged a shock. Was it? It's got to be accidentally spammed.
Then that's what I'm thinking. So,
this is a mess of a race so far. Gone.
This is a clown fiesta simply because we don't know who's in top 5. We see Ornan's name tag pop up.
The Ornan, we see Thunder.
I don't know. Like okay, well that means they're not fit.
Second TC. Get it off, Ethan.
Okay, so we know IS is top. Has 2 players in the top 4. That's definitely confirmed. So we don't know if EXO is in 5th, but EXO gotta hope they have 2 of the top 4.
It's still close up there, but 2 EXO members are in the back here, so that's not good.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty close up top.
We see one bagger moving forward, right? That's Spark. So EXO has the shock. So let's see if they shock themselves into the ramp or they just hold it because they're top 2.
Does he have shock?
Yeah, he does.
He's just going for 9?
I think he's just going forward, so... It looks like EXO is going to hold the shock if they have it.
If they have it. They might get Jorge after box here.
Let's see.
Yep, that's what they tried to do. Jorge saw it coming.
So I'm assuming...
Great play by Jorge and a great pull, too.
Yeah, I'm assuming, though, EXO probably got, like, top 2 or 1-3 because if they were not
at least 2-3. At least 2-3.
Yeah, something like that because they would have used shock. For sure. Because you could definitely tell they had it, I think.
That was a really heads-up play by Jorge, and he wins the 2v1. Wins the back.
He does.
Which is huge.
Now, I'm going to discuss why I like the Zane player, because he started in 6, right?
Right.
EXO started in 1-3-4, and they do keep the top 2.
Top 2, so, huge race. Huge, not huge.
So we're talking about 4th drafting first. So you're assuming they're top 2. So what you do is you take the bill away from Jorge, and you make his bill completely useless. And we just saw that. We just saw what happened there. The bill was completely useless.
EXO did not need Bill to win that race.
But Zane stopped, hard stop, because if he doesn't, Jorge's going to have a bill in a great spot. So good job by EXO keeping the top 2. He put a lot of trust in his teammates to get that top 2, and it paid off. So they win the race by a little bit there, and they're keeping this momentum.
That's what you got to do. You just got to get those 1s and 2s. You got to get the top spots. You guys got to chip away. Make the move in the third quarter, in the third GP.
Right, so only a 22-point lead now. This is possibly the closest match we've had for week 1. Let's see what EXO and IS elect to pick with these kind of spots here.
I mean, it's sandwich spots. The top 2, bottom 2. We got a sandwich. We got a bread for EXO.
This could be like a KC pick, a DDR pick. Oh, there's DDR. We see 1, BC3, Moonview. Okay, so just kind of mixed tracks. Moonview's a nice top 2 track. 4th can get a draft off first though sometimes, so it's very nerve-wracking in that sense for first place. But regardless, it's going to be Delfino. I'm assuming that was an IS pick as well because you usually don't pick that when you're top 2.
No, you wouldn't pick that with top 2, bottom 2. Honestly, spots I really don't think matter too much here. Obviously, you can get the draft, you can get in front, and it's good to have someone in first early, but with the first set being so far away, it's so easy to bag. It's so easy to bag here.
Stops.
Especially with so many boxes on this first
kind of more of an inward play, but we'll see how this pays off. IS is starting 5, 6, 7. He gets a mega. I mean, it's not terrible, but you're kind of hoping for something.
It's not good. It's not good on this
track.
track. Megas because on this track are just not what you want to dodge.
He's gonna hold it, and I think if you're a Moog main, you're gonna hold this mega.
You're gonna hold it.
But I don't know if this is going to benefit the team or not, depending on how far the pack is separated, obviously. So, who is
still pretty close. We do have someone pretty dead in 8th, though.
Is that IS in 8th? Do you know that?
Could be. It's either IS or it's Zane. I'm pretty sure. Zane's
so we see EXO 4-6, IS is 5-7, and then we see IS get hit. So 6-7 here for Jorge and Ornan. EXO could still be a top spot because they did start first, and sometimes you can. But it looks like IS is probably top 2. I think IS might be top 2.
I think IS is top 2. I think they are top 2.
So we see a POW come in, so if anyone had shrooms, they lost them just now.
IS way ahead in bagging, but Spark's going forward, so he might have pulled it a knife just then.
We just saw someone fall off, and that might have been EXO member. So Artie's going to try to stop troll Jorge.
Risky play. At this point, unless you're the team that definitely has shock and Jorge knows they have shock, I might have used the mega by now.
I want to say
is a really bad place to be on this track.
Yeah. Yep, IS is definitely top 2. We see EXO 4 through 7. So they might be top 3. Yeah, they're top 3. So this is really good for
that
IS.
right there has got to be proof that IS has shot.
Yeah. And that's definitely not good for EXO.
That's not the play if you.
Okay, they're not top 2. I think they're top 2.
See if they chain it up
here. Let's see if they chain it and use it though.
It has to be.
They're gonna TS EXO. They're gonna TS them right here probably. No, they're holding it.
No, they didn't have shock.
Maybe no one has it.
Wow. That is a weird
there is a late blue, and the shock is used. I don't know if that's really going to do anything.
I don't know.
No, it's not going to.
Looks like a 3, 4, 5. It's still a top 2 for
EXO gets 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yeah. It might have been an IS shock just to protect the top 2, even without dodging Jorge. Might have been just an EXO shock into boxes or on the ramp or something to try to salvage a top 2 spot. But whatever it was, I'm going to use the word again. It was unorthodox. It was weird.
Okay, so do you know who used the shot? Because I wasn't paying attention to the diagrams. Which one spun out?
I didn't pay attention to it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see it.
Look,
that's why I gave both of my theories.
Yeah, I got you. IS getting a good race here, stopping the momentum of it. So, but Jorge for IS.
A mega on that track is not something.
So possibly the most valuable points members of the two, Zane and Jorge, 10 apiece here in GP.
10 apiece, yeah. That was I was pretty far off my prediction, I guess. Pretty not good. Pretty not good.
Well, we saw the TF race, and they were the complete opposites of what they usually do. So that's why it's important to try to be the best, well-rounded player you can be. So, any top 2 tracks?
Cutting the lead still. Only down 27.
I still just like picking KC because sometimes you don't know what to pick. With these kind of spots, they're all just kind of even. Plus, first starting in KC and second as well is pretty good. Simply because someone can pull Shell and do Shroomba, and then your back members can try to pull somewhat of like triple Shrooms or Goldens 6 through 8. So, but we see some DDR for both teams actually.
DDR, honestly, I like to pick this with the sandwich spots when I'm the bread of the sandwich, when I'm top 2, bottom 2, something like that, like a first and then bottom spots. 1, 3, 6, 7, something like that.
This is actually a really good track to start on first one. If you really good at this track. So
this is a pretty neutral track. It's a pretty neutral track, and shock's pretty good here if you can get the start.
Yes. So we're getting triple Shrooms in 7, pretty decent pull. Obviously not a golden. Sometimes when you're in 7th, you may try to chain at the second set to pull a golden, which you're not really risking much. But he's going to keep him anyway because he's in 5th and he's going to do that. EXO's 2, 3, 4 to start, so IS is probably first if they probably get Sandhawk break away a bit.
Jorge putting a lot on his driving right now. Not too much emphasis on his item usage, what we're seeing, but he does have the lines to back it up, so he's going to be able to perform in a lot of situations.
He's going to be probably in first after this. Connor has triple Shrooms too, it looks like. He probably put him in 4th. Yeah, you see Ethan overtake a Thunder, and oh, big fail there.
That's not
play
good.
the chicken strat.
Not good play.
But it looks like Ethan able to overtake Thunder, so good job there by him. Let's see if he can keep that first. And we see EXO 145.
Holding a Mega again.
And there's a blue, so
big blue for EXO with a lot of middle spots.
Yeah,
here.
so I don't know if Ethan got hit out of first, so that was huge. But regardless, Thunder's going to get dropped back here as well.
And Ethan's dying too, so still holding first.
So that kind of gives Ornan a decent break. Not too huge, but do we know what the shock situation's like, obviously, because Jorge...
We see the Daisy going forwards.
Looks like they're...
Something's got to give here with these batters.
And Jorge failing again. But and this looks like a very neutral race. But we see EXO 5, 6, 7, so IS is still winning the race at the moment. And
I want to say that EXO has shock. I want to.
Well, they need it, because I think IS...
holding this Mega. Finally using it.
I think EXO may have shock because he just used the Mega anyway. Yeah, this is going all over the place. So let's see if we see a shock here for EXO. No, so I think IS has the shock because they probably would have just held it unless no one got it.
I think this is going to be looking like a relatively neutral race still.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if IS got top 2 out of that though, because I saw a lot of EXO members like 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. So we'll have to see the race results here.
2, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah. So IS won the race by 7 though, I think. So pretty good race for IS.
All right, and that concludes GP2. So we're gonna have a little something that we haven't done before. We're gonna have a little pre-GP3 kind of analysis here. We're bringing in Chili. He plays for PT Phantasmagoria. They're in, I think, Group A, and they were the first seeded team up there. So this guy knows what he's talking about. So let's bring him in. We got Chili to tell us what's going on for this match. Chili?
Hey, how's it going? So I'm just gonna get right into it. You already told my name. Don't need to say it again. So going into this match, I assumed that both teams pretty much were equal in terms of running power, and as far as I'm concerned, that still holds true. When this match started, I was going to assume that Zane and Jorge were going to sort of act as their stability points. Yeah. They were going to stay in the front, and they were just going to maintain that front presence. That actually hasn't really happened. That's something that surprised me. Overall, I would say that EXO is getting a little bit beaten out in terms of shocks, and especially the first GP. First GP, there were a lot of shortcut-based tracks that are being picked, and EXO was struggling to, I guess, take those shortcuts along with IS. Yeah. On GV, they just secured a top 3 easily with a lap 2 shock, and it would have been a top 3 overall in the race if they didn't pull a blue at the last second. I want to point out RSL for a second. Ethan made a very, very good play. He was holding Bill until lap 3, and he actually built a Mega out of Thunder and forced IS to use a very, very, very suboptimal shock. As you can see, during GP2, they made up quite a bit of lost ground by just evening out the shock count a little bit and sort of getting their footing in terms of running. TF would have been a fantastic race for EXO if Zane and Ethan didn't get abysmal luck. That's something I want to note. They got 2-3 TCs apiece that race.
Yeah. That was tough.
Overall, I would say it's very close. I think it's still anyone's game.
Still within 40. I want to ask you, playstyle like Jorge, someone who has great driving, someone who is relying on their driving, not as much experience online as most of the other players in this lobby. Failing, I hate to say it, but failing driving as much as he is, I mean, how does that affect playstyle like his?
I think Jorge is not. He's probably, psychologically speaking, he's not doing so well now because he made a lot of mistakes like GP1 and GP2, and they're kind of just compounding now. He's getting pretty good item pulls, and he would easily have top 3 spot every race, but he's just not playing correctly. If I'm being completely honest.
Mm-hmm. There's a certain way you gotta play when you have skills like he does, a skill set like him, and he's not exactly doing it the way he should. Usually does. This is not orthodox, Jorge I've received, but
yes, I agree. He's been hitting a lot of backspam from EXO. I want to give a shout out to Artie and Ethan. They've been doing really well with just shutting down Jorge. I've just noticed that, especially Artie. He's been backstabbing really, really, really well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your analysis, Chili.
That was
Yoshi
great.
Falls. right now
For
we
sure.
saw a lot of good plays by EXO. They got some really lucky pulls, a bomb, a red, and we see IS probably gonna lose this race. They're getting bottom.
Yeah, big
two,
bottom
I'm
two
assuming.
for IS.
But we didn't really see who was in first. I saw Ornan around 4th to 6th, so I want to say Ornan got 4th. And EXO got 2 of the top 3 spots after just watching that race. But some pretty nice pulls for EXO to keep them in the back. So I wanna see
Looks
this
like
is a
EXO held the shock as well, because I think they were most of the top spots.
And one thing to point out, GP2, Articuno, 52 points. So nice to see his improvement out over the years. So let's see how this one ended up. And oh, EXO getting 2, 4, 5, 6. So a good race for IS. That is a great race for IS because you're just playing the stall game at that point as you're up by I think, 34. So now you're up by 35 after a +1 race. So EXO now only has 3 races to come back from down 35.
And it's possible. That is not out of the ordinary. Not ordinary, but not out of, out of reach at all.
So 2, 4, 5, 6, not bad starting positions for EXO. They got the draft position. The second's not bad as well. So we have a bunch of different tracks here. RBC is the most common track. I think that's all by EXO. So down 35. Do you risk something like BC3? Because BC3 is one of those tracks where you can get some top 4s on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It's a toss-up, though. It's a toss-up. Lap 1's important.
Mhm.
And from what we've been seeing, EXO is not performing on lap 1, really. So probably going to benefit IS if it gets to it.
All right, so we're expecting 3rd to jump in the cut here from IS. There he goes. Jorge's also going to jump in the cut.
Ooh. 2 people hopping in cut I don't like.
So EXO
And a huge bill pull.
and welcome to Ronak Paradise
Is not as
as
important as it
he
can get.
pulls the Ronak there.
Unfortunately,
EXO
when baggers skill are about even, they're gonna get back pretty evenly. And ooh.
And yeah. So one thing to note is that IS, both of them jumped in the cut. 2 IS members jumped in. No one from EXO did. So I'm curious to see if EXO is actually still in top spots after. We do see IS in bottom too. We saw Ornan's name in 7th earlier. So let's see what's gonna happen here. Let's see who has the shock, maybe.
I was gonna say that when baggers are about even, they're gonna get back to the set where you kind of just chain boxes in 9th. You kind of go back and forth with it about the same time. So bill is huge because they don't have to risk it and lose it and waste all this time. But
And there's shock. I want to see
shock.
I think that was an IS shock because they were
gotta
more
be an
bottom
IS
spots.
shock. Bottom 3 still for IS. I mean, EXO still holding the spots.
It's looking kind of
And a second shock still very much possible.
for sure, but IS is bottom 4 right now, so they better pray to God that EXO.
Yeah,
does
they
not
got to
get
make a
shot,
play this next lap. They got to get
because,
another one.
Yeah, they're bottom 4, so EXO gotta hold it here. And if they get shocked, this could be a wrap for this race.
EXO doing a
We see
great job
someone
of
fall
keeping
off
them down.
though.
Yeah.
One of EXO fell off. So
One of
EXO's
EXO
top
fell off,
2
and we
forward.
see Connor now. So
Yeah,
that
they're
they
top
had
2
it.
forward. Oh, Connor got hit. So they're only top 2. If EXO has the shock, they're going to use it here to secure top 2. No, so EXO's predicting that IS may have the shock because we saw an EXO member stop before the cannon, and there's no shock. So that's lucky for EXO.
I think we're looking at a 3-4-5 right now for IS.
Yes.
EXO hold. They
Another,
got to hold
another
that
great
top
pull.
2 in a race like this, where it's they're down
And-
30.
Oh, Ethan hits a banana, so
Ethan.
So now it's a lot closer. The pack's a lot tighter. Other than
1-3.
maybe-
Jorge with another mega. Risky draft.
Oh, he probably should just megaed Ethan there.
Did he
I don't
get
know if
Ethan
he
off? I
bumped
think he
him
got
off,
Ethan
though.
off there.
Yeah.
It's 2-3-4 now for
Oh,
IS.
this is good. There's going to be a shot clock too.
Shot clock,
No.
shot clock. Nope, no shot clock tease.
So IS again winning the race, but EXO should have won that race. They were top 4. Wow.
Credit to IS, great job of infiltrating
Yeah.
that top 4. Really good
And
job.
I think how Ethan lost second more easily is because he stopped at the cannon a bit. Because he thought IS had the shock, so he stopped, and then he lost all that ground, and then he got knocked out a second because he hit him
Yeah.
down. So, oof. You're assuming if Ethan doesn't stop, he's going to second.
Like
but-
Ethan's fast, but when you're around players like that and he doesn't have the experience against players who are
Yeah,
a little bit
and
better,
then he got bumped off, so...
Yeah. So it's a 5-7-8.
Another great
not a winning race.
Yeah.
They got to make it happen here. No bonus
Look,
points. You
man,
might see someone a little bit of all run.
A wasted opportunity, though, for EXO.
Yeah. Yeah. That was their spot to make it happen, and couldn't hold on.
So I think at this point you're picking BC3 or something like that. You need something that you
Gonna
can
whip
get...
out the race calculator that's on MarioKartBoards.com.
Yes, could use that. So looks like they're going RBC. RBC is a pretty good track too, where you can get a lot of good spots because if you're in first, you can back the whole room pretty easily at times, I would like to say. And especially if you're top 2, you can double back spam. So if EXO gets into top 2, they can start coordinating that a little bit.
So we got down 42 for EXO.
Yeah.
So a plus 21 to cut the lead in half. They would need to top 3, 5, 10. Or no, excuse me. Top 3, 6, 10.
Okay, so definitely doable. This is a good track, I think, to actually get a lot of top spots on. They're going to have to try to draft up as well from 5th. So if you see Zane swerve and he gets bumped right out of first, that's not good. No. You see IS in top 2, so should be holding out this red right now. I don't know why he's... Ooh, good snipe. That's a big pivotal snipe right there. And Spart's all running. So yeah, we got all run going on.
We got all run these last 2 races, and it's not a bad idea. No bonus point. You got nothing to lose but the war, so you might as well go for it.
So
Jorge, this is where he needs to be. He's got to hold this first.
No one shrooms. Okay, Connor shrooms.
Connor's coming up with more shrooms. Great.
So this is big. So EXO's top 2. Ooh, you can double back spam on this track and get Jorge right out of 3rd as long as you coordinate it. Probably back spam around the thwomp turns because they're tighter turns. So
EXO's gonna need a bit of a jackpot here. They're gonna need to go blueless. Yeah. They're gonna want the shot. They're not gonna get it.
And yep, there we go. EXO Ethan failing. So now Jorge's
this late in the war, you can't make those mistakes.
Yeah. Can't make those mistakes. So Connor's going to have to try to get Jorge out of first, but he may have a shroom though, because he used 2 shrooms at the grass cuts. If I'm Connor, you got to go big. You got to change that shroom. You got to get Jorge out of there.
Ooh,
but there's an IS shock really early, and that's fine because they're going to get another one most likely. So not a bad strategy in all run wars. So IS is first, but when you're playing all run wars, you have 5 runners, Maq, and there's a lot of chances to pull blues, as he's doing right there. And then he gets knocked right out of first.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say that this is a pretty short race. But
not sure how much experience EXO has with all run, but when you're playing all run, when you're this late, when you're in a position like this, you gotta go for Bill. When you know that the other team's getting shocked and you know that your only chance is to pull it in 9s, you have to go for Bill. It's not an option, and they didn't do that. IS was able to take advantage of that.
So you're hoping if you're EXO, you get the shock at 9, and your top 2 backspam sweep forward, because they definitely have top 2 every week. A great pull again by Jorge. Great pulls. He gets a mega in 5th.
Another mega for Jorge.
So EXO, they're gonna have to coordinate this. Maybe try to dodge a shock with IS if they have it, or you're hoping EXO has the shock.
You assume that
big green right there. Let's see what happens if EXO has the shock. They might.
If EXO has it, then this is going to be a great race. But if
they don't have it, EXO's top 2. Ooh. Do we see a target shock on 2nd? Okay, we see a Bill. Is that EXO?
No shock in play.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This could be a big race for EXO.
This could be a big race. This is a bottom 2 for IS. This is a bottom 3 for IS.
Oh, someone fell off. Oh, Ethan making the thing.
Oh my god. Oh. Ethan, I can't sit here and watch this, kid. Come on. Let's go.
Now, the good news for EXO is I believe they got top 2. And they did. So they got top 2, 5, 6. So they're down 27. 27. It's doable.
You can all run this. You can, you can bag this. But you need a top 4 10. You need a top 4 9. You have to. So
what does your race calculator say?
Okay, well, we're down 27, right? We're down 27 for EXO. A plus 27 is a top 3, 5, 9. So you have to get a top 4. You have to get a top 4 if you're going to bag.
Moonview Highway, not a bad pick.
Now, this is a little strategy I learned from one Mr. Flo Matt, is that when you're IS in this situation, you're IS, you pick a track like Mario Raceway, because it's a track you need shock, bagging is almost necessary, you know? And when it's a team that's kind of can't bag, you know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough to win a race like that, so could be a good strategy, but it looks like they're opting for BC3.
I don't like the BC3 pick because lap 1 can really decide the whole race. It's a really big gamble, but regardless, we're going the moon.
We're going moon view here. Good
So-
strategy from EXO. A track that shock isn't going to be totally overpowering for top spots on. This is a good pick.
And once again with all run wars, more chances to pull blue because we saw the blue right away. But anyways, let's see if Jorge can get the bill of ninth and gets a star. That's probably fine anyway. You're hoping he gets the shock in time for IS. He changed his star there and he got another one. Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
So,
Not a bad
not bad
starter.
at all. But we see IS.
Generally, you're going to want to hold a star in that situation.
Bottom shots here for IS. We see Ornan. Ooh, we see Connor with some good mega
making the
uses.
play. That's the play.
But
It's a risky play, but it's what you got to do.
And there's the shock. So a
Ooh.
big shock for IS.
That's a great
Oh,
shot.
but a
for IS.
big Nana hit though. Big and EXO.
And Ethan hits the car in seconds. Oh,
I want to say that Bill dropped them off there.
Bill probably dropped him off.
But at the same time, but this race isn't over yet.
Now.
Simply because when you all run, you have 5 racers that can pull the blue. If you're in 4 through 7, you have 3 chances to pull the blue. And there's a lot of items on this track that you can get. So if you keep cycling items, you may get 2 blues in this time. But right now we haven't seen a blue yet. So that's
Well, this is what we've been waiting from Jorge for about 11 races. Just some solid front runs.
that's also true.
Been-
So he puts a Nana tight, but if he's gonna get first, then this one's a wrap, obviously. We also see IS. Oh, that's the bag.
No, that's the bagger. So, but Jorge's it shows how big Jorge's lead.
They're gonna need 2 blues.
They're gonna need
in about
everything.
10 seconds, but it's
They're gonna
not
need
gonna happen.
everything.
Oh yeah, the pack is swayed.
There's the shock.
There's
It's a
also
good shot for Jorge though. It's not gonna stop him.
and IS is going to win week 1, barring a controller disconnects on the line. Okay, no, he's getting first.
And he is. Ooh, he's waiting. He's waiting.
He's waiting. They're teabagging. They're teabagging on the line. Oh. Wow.
So that's gonna do it for EXO. IS taking week 1 away.
A very entertaining war, but IS kind of had this one under control for a while. EXO made a pretty good run though, definitely, to keep this one pretty close. But a big first for Jorge, and I liked how they used the shock for Jorge anyway, because if he dodges that, he's going to be ahead by a lot.
Mhm.
You know, don't play it risky.
Yeah, IS play those all run races pretty. They lost RBC, but they were playing them very well. They played exactly how they should. They went for Bill. They used the early shock. They stabilized the running game. That's what you got to do in an all run situation.
It was just unlucky for RBC for them because they didn't get a second shot. It's not really because they got blue, but
We're gonna bring back Chili. Quick post game, and we'll wrap this thing up. Chili, what'd you see GP3 from EXO? What'd you see from IS? What did we see?
Right, so I had somewhat of a theory for the first 2 GPs that I didn't really want to mention because I wasn't certain about it. One thing I noticed throughout this entire match was that EXO was playing, I would say, the first half of every race incredibly well. The runners were just doing everything correctly the first half, but then they would like fall off. They couldn't maintain like their momentum in the race, quite literally. And I think nothing confirms that more than RBC. RBC IS used a very questionable shock early lap 2. It dodged one of their players in the bill who immediately got blued. And I understand why they did it. They were expecting a second one.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it was a good call. It wasn't enough, and it did break up EXO's like top positions, but even then, like, they immediately lost it. And the problem is that EXO, they just sort of fell apart, like, going into lap 3. Even going into lap 2, we saw Ethan hit the wall on the banister cut. That's the main thing I want to talk about.
him. That killed him.
It's detrimental. You gotta have a top spot in that situation.
Because he probably keeps the top shot.
Definitely. And I guess one minor thing I want to point out is that Connor's flagging on Moonji was an incredibly good play from his part, and if IS didn't have shock there, I think that would have been a very, very big race for
Would have been great. Yeah, but that's the risk of playing all run.
Yeah,
And it was a good play
big
to play
risk.
all run. If there was bonus point,
was
maybe not.
A great play, just to get the star out of him. Because if they didn't have shock, Jorge lost his dodge.
Yeah. If they didn't have star, if they didn't have shock, it would have been. I would have probably just set the race entirely. I want to say that would have just secured EXO like at least like 1-3.
But I think EXO really needed Shock on that race if they were gonna get like.
Yeah, they needed it.
So.
It's a big risk versus reward thing, and while I'm on this topic, I want to talk about sort of another theoretical idea I've been playing around with. I think there's somewhat of a weapon triangle in the game. I want to say that bagging counters running, and running counters schlagging, and schlagging counters bagging. During that last GP, I was going to say that EXO didn't quite schlag enough that they needed to, because IS was basically guaranteed Shock every race because of course they're playing all run. That's one thing I want to point out. Of course, when I say that weapon triangle, I don't think that holds universally. There are going to be a ton of instances where it doesn't quite work out, but it's like something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah, you see it from teams like CV, teams like Gun that play the all run format really well. A lot of schlagging,
But not only is it schlagging, I do notice that both of those teams do have like more of a dedicated schlagger role. Like you have Barry, you have Soccer. But with all running, I think it's important to be well-rounded in everything. So if your role is to schlag in a particular race, you can do it, and you're good at hitting people while also slowing them down. If your job is to be in first, it's important to be good and not fail at first. So it's nice to be well-rounded in all run wars, which I just don't know if EXO was quite suited for that.
Looking at Group E, the four main teams that are three, obviously only three can make it, but the four main teams that are contending for the upper bracket are HRST, Insane, EXO, and GAMP. So EXO, GAMP probably going to be the ones fighting for that third seed. How do you think EXO should duel up against GAMP? It's not till week 4, but that's probably going to be the team that they need to beat.
Quick question: does GAMP do all run, or do they actually suicide?
I think they're going to suicide.
Okay, I think that's a winnable matchup for EXO.
It is.
They can just stay top 2 and not make mistakes. I
agree. I think
they have the running ability. They have the running ability to beat them. They gotta just not get caught in the middle of the pack because GAMP is gonna dominate them when that happens.
Exactly.
Gotta get away from them. They gotta stay away from them just on the track in general. They can't get close. They gotta stay in first. They gotta stay in second. They gotta even dodge up, but you gotta stay away from GAMP. GAMP is great at using items.
If I had anything to say about like EXO and what they could have done better, I think if they just played it a little bit more refined, GP3, like Maple Freeway, they had a fantastic shock lap too, and they had like most of the top positions, but they just kind of choked like lap 3, like hard.
Well, IS also gotta give them credit.
Yeah,
they break into that top 3 pretty well.
Yeah, they dissected it very well. That's
a bit of both.
IS. They did a great job GP3 of recovering from like a bad lap 1. Like I mentioned earlier, EXO plays the lap 1 super well.
They're only gonna get better over time. You can see it the way they play. They had Ethan mishaps here, mishaps there, but once this team solidifies, they're gonna have really good comms. They're gonna have more consistent driving, and they're gonna be really good. Whether they make it to top bracket or bottom bracket, I think we'll see them do pretty well.
Yeah, I definitely think they just need a little bit more practice against better teams, and I think they'll be quite a formidable team overall.
But yeah, I think that all it covers it, right?
I think that's it. I think that's good. I think we did it. Chili, thank you for coming in again.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome job. A lot of fun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We tried some new things today. If you guys liked it, let us know. If you have any recommendations, let us know. You probably have my Discord somewhere. Me and Yoshter. Yeah, hope you guys had fun watching it. We had a lot of fun casting it. And yeah, thanks to Chili for coming in those 2 times. A lot of fun. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.